FINR2205 personal finance students online. As promised, I've tried to touch base with you periodically throughout the semester, and I thought I'd start by just kind of checking the schedule and see how we're doing. The date of this message is September the 2nd, and so look at this. The semester started in August. The official start date of classes is August the 25th. You know, you did your pause introductions. I just went through and read those, and you guys shared some great information. I posted responses, I think, to everybody. Just delighted with the information that you all shared. I think we have a really, really strong, very good class. Now, we're at the Labor Day weekend, and so look at this. We are into week 2. You know, if you consider that classes started Saturday, we're a week and a day into the second week of the semester. So, what else do you have coming up this week? Well, you have a Chapter 1 discussion and you have a Chapter 1 quiz. Now, this is a little schedule that I put together as I plan not only this class but other classes. And I suspect you have a similar schedule. In fact, I would hope that you do, so that you can complete your assignments in a manner that fits with your overall calendar. I understand you have work, I understand that you have other classes, and so sometimes doing something like this, and you'll find these calendars for free using Microsoft Word, or you can go out to the internet, things like that. But my real focus is we have some assignments that are due. This video is made on Sunday, so due Monday night, Labor Day, September the 3rd. So let's look at that. I am in the pause system. Let me enter our class. There's a couple things I want to point out to you. One is that, excuse me, let me get rid of that. Over here on the left-hand side, this is confusing to students oftentimes. It says upcoming events. These are not only due dates. Your due dates will appear here, but you'll see, for example, Labor Day, September the 3rd. This is our discussion question. I'm going to talk about that, September the 3rd. And this is our quiz also. These are all due. Well, Labor Day is not due, but due September the 3rd. But you'll also see Chapter 2 quiz. And when we say it's upcoming events, this is upcoming. Right, so they're telling you that this is about to open right here, the Chapter 2 quiz. So you don't want to fall behind. You want to jump in and start working. So as I go across here, I'm going to click on the discussion, and let's look at some of our due dates here. As I go through here, again, I totally enjoyed your class discussion, your class introductions. Also, as we look at this screen, I am logged in as an instructor, and so my screen might look a little bit different than yours. But look at this, some due dates coming up. Here's the due date for your discussion. So if you have not gone out here and posted to this question, why do you think Americans seem to have more money problems than people in other countries, then you want to do that. And you'll see that 18 of your classmates have already gone out there and posted into the discussion board. Now, one thing I want to remind you about this is that it needs to be a discussion posting that is worthy of a college student. I'll say this now. Remember that we have a 15 to 16 week semester, and so I want to say this now as a reminder later on. We want to always be respectful. We want to use proper spelling and proper grammar. Make sure you capitalize when you should. Make sure that you use punctuation at the end of sentences. And I want to add one other thing here. This question is an opinion question. Why do you think Americans seem to do this? But you're in a college class, and one of the things that you do in a college program is you open your mind to the ideas, the ideals that are coming in from people who are leaders in these chosen areas of study, like finance. Okay, so your response needs to reflect that you have investigated and thought about what these leaders have said. So who are these leaders? Well, the authors of your textbook. So you get the textbook. There is a textbook at the library on reference, which means you cannot take it away from the library. You have to keep it in the library, but you can read the chapter, and your postings should reflect that. This is about changing and expanding and opening your minds to things that you may have never thought about before. We don't just want to enter into a class and then and then repeat the opinions that we held before we were ever exposed to the information that's contained within the class. We want our opinions to reflect what others have spent, in some cases, years researching and analyzing and going into the business world to examine. So we want our knowledge to reflect those wisdoms and those experiences. You know, there's a statement that I refer to constantly, which is that a wise man, a lot of people believe that a wise man learns from his own mistakes. Maybe you've heard that. Learn from your mistakes. A wise man learns from their mistakes. How long would it take you to gain wisdom if you are learning only from your own mistakes? So I want you to balance that with the statement that those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. Well, what that means is that if you study, in essence, the mistakes or even the successes of others, as we study business, we talk about what works in this company or what works in this environment and what works in our personal finances and things that are proven to work. So why don't we learn from those studies? Where others have failed, we don't need to make those mistakes. We can learn from that. Where others have succeeded, you know, we don't have to reinvent that wheel. We're the wise ones when we learn from that. So as you go out to reflect on this and answer this question, you know, include those wisdoms in your responses. Also, just as a reminder, and you guys are such sharp students, I know I don't even have to worry about this, but responses such as, yes, I agree, me too, that is correct, I don't know, just because. These are not going to earn you any points, okay? So I need to see that you've put some time and effort into that. That's completely at my discretion. So impress me, okay? You're representing yourself. You want to put forward a great impression, not just for the first posting, for every chapter as we go throughout the semester. Okay, you're capable of that. You're college students. This is your career. You know, even if you have other careers, this is your career. And so you need to put your best foot forward. So I look forward to that in the discussion. This is our first one, so as I post feedback, you'll learn a little bit about me as we go through this process. So that's why I want to give you a little pep talk with this first one. Now let me go over here to quizzes. And you see again that you've got a due date coming up here on the quiz. And this has to do with attempts taken. And again, I see some information that you don't see. I kind of keep tabs on you that way. In fact, maybe I can share this with you. But first of all, the most important thing is that the assignment is due September the 3rd, no later than 11:55. It'll cut you off by that time. But you know, this is no problem. You've known about this. You also know you have unlimited attempts, and so you're out there working on it and practicing with it right now, right? And again, you don't want to fall behind on that because we have more assignments coming. The semester doesn't stop after just one assignment. So, for example, so if you want to know what the class average is, the class average is 75%. But if we want to know what the minimum required score has to be to earn credit, perhaps we should look at the syllabus. Should we look at the syllabus now? This is from the syllabus, and look at this. For each quiz you have unlimited attempts, but you are required to make a minimum score of 80%, which means 8 out of 10 questions, 8 points out of 10 points. Scores less than 80% will become a 0 in the final calculation of your grade. In other words, you may see in pause that the system has recorded 6 out of 10 points, 7 out of 10 points, that kind of thing. But when I calculate your final grade, if it does not meet the minimum score, I'm telling you here, and as I discussed in the syllabus video, it will revert to a 0. Now, it doesn't matter when you make that highest grade. Make sure you read all this carefully because I only record the highest one, but you've got to make a good score. Okay, so I promised you a shorter video, so let me get back to pause and say that you know, the class average is a 75%, but that's okay because some people obviously did a little lower here, but others are doing very well. I want you to get that grade up there and get your assignments done by the due date because then I'll be pressing you to work forward into Chapter 2. Enjoy a little bit of this weekend, but you got a lot of work to do. Thanks so much.